hey, here's another interesting idea to consider. And the idea has to do with the difference between you and your experience. So if you are conscious, which you probably are at this moment, you can likely kind of easily notice your experience, and not any particular experience or part of your experience, but just the fact that there is experience, which just means this. This is the experience you're having. This is your experience. And maybe you can also kind of feel into what it feels like to be you. So there's you and your experience. So who gets enlightened? You don't get enlightened. You stay exactly as you are. You stay a person, you stay a being, a body, but your experience gets enlightened, which is genius. And actually, you already just take yourself to be your experience. You don't actually feel like you're the you. You already are your experience without even knowing it. And here's the proof. If enlightenment can only happen to your experience, which means your experience gets enlightened, that means that when there is no enlightenment in your experience, then you say, I don't feel enlightened. So you're taking your own experience as the signifier if you are enlightened or not. And if there is enlightenment in your experience, which means your experience is enlightened at that moment, or even right now, then you would say, I am enlightened. There is enlightenment. Because if it's there in your experience, then you will say, it's there in me. So this means you already feel like you are your experience. And what is this enlightenment? It's actually nothing extra. It's just your experience, just as it is. Enlightenment isn't a quality that can be absent or present. Enlightenment is the experience itself. And the only thing that makes it feel like there is no enlightenment is when you have experience and then a thought begins to describe the experience. So you get the second-hand version of your own experience, which, no surprise, doesn't feel like enlightenment, because it isn't, kind of. It also is, but it actually kind of also isn't. So it's really, really simple. Your experience gets enlightened. This current experience gets enlightened. your current experience gets enlightened. Who else can get enlightened? There's no other place for enlightenment to be. Thoughts about you, or thoughts of, is this it? Is it happening? These are part of your experience. It isn't a part of experience that gets enlightened. Your entire experience gets enlightened, and you along with it. This entire experiencing gets enlightened instantly, just now, just like this. Simple. Enjoy.